The subject of this recording is going to be canned responses in Google Mail. Canned responses are very helpful if you send the same email over and over again within the course of a day, a week, or even a month. So setting up a canned response is very easy. The first thing you're going to do is click Compose so that you're composing a new email message. One thing I want to point out is as you look at my email screen, you'll see that my signature block is present. Generally, having a signature block present in your message is exactly what you want. But when you're creating a canned response, the first thing you need to make sure you do is delete that signature block. And the reason is when we save this canned response or templated email, it's going to save everything that's in the body of that message, including your signature block. So when you open a new mail message and insert that canned response, it will insert your address block, which is already going to be present in your email because it is inserted automatically in any new mail message. Another thing to keep in mind is that canned responses only save the body of the email message. They do not save the subject line. So let's go ahead and start a new canned response. So in order to start the canned response, you're just going to fill in the email message that you want to share. So in this particular case, I'm going to type, "Dear," and I'm going to leave a little space and a comma. "This is a canned response. Thanks." And then my name. So now we're all ready to have this canned response saved for future use. So in order to do this, we're going to look at this canned responses option in our email. And when I click the arrow next to canned responses, it's going to bring me up a list of all of the responses I already have saved. It's going to give me the next option to save a canned response, and that's the option that we want. So we're going to scroll down, and what we're looking for under that save canned response is this very last option right here, new canned response. So I'm going to click new canned response, and it's going to ask me to enter a new canned response name. So I'm just going to name this Demonstrate New Canned Response. And you want to name this something that's going to make it easy for you to identify the contents of that message at a later date. So we're going to click OK. I've now saved that canned response. So I'm going to discard this message, and then I'm going to compose a new message. And as you can see, my signature block is automatically inserted. I'm going to put my cursor right at the beginning of the body of that message. And then I'm going to once again go back to the canned response options and click the down arrow. But this time, instead of scrolling down to save, I'm going to live right here in the top part of these options, the insert area. And from the insert menu, I'm going to look for the canned response that I just created. And there it is, Demonstrate New Canned Response. So I'm just going to click on the Demonstrate New Canned Response, and as you can see, the body of my email now contains the information that we saved in that canned response. So it's very easy for me to update or edit. I can have Dear User, and then send this on to my intended recipient. If you get a lot of canned responses and you find you have one or two that you don't need or you very rarely use, again, you can click the canned response option and just scroll down through your list until you get to the delete section. From the delete section, I want to delete this canned response because it's just a bunch of junk. So I'm going to click the canned response I want to delete, and I'm going to get a pop-up message asking, "Are you sure you want to delete this canned response?" I'm going to click OK, and when I go back into my canned responses list, I can see that that canned response is now missing from the delete section, and it's also missing from the insert section. If I've changed the contents of a canned response, Again, I can go back to that canned responses area, and this time we're going to look towards the center of the options for the save area. In the save area, if I've changed the message, I can save, and I want to save this as demonstrate new canned response. When I click demonstrate new canned response, again, I'm going to get a pop-up message asking, are you sure you want to overwrite it? Yes, I'm sure. So let's discard this and go back into Compose. And now when I insert that same canned response, you'll see that it saved my changes and now dear user instead of it being blank. So I hope you can see how canned responses can really help you save some time and you can take advantage of them in your daily work. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you with the next video.